A dramatic confrontation in England tonight as the family and activists supporting baby Alfie Evans attempted to rush to his hospital room facing off against police. The terminally ill toddler was taken off life-sustaining measures like his ventilator today in Britain. But Alfie Evans is still fighting. The family has lost a series of legal battles to preserve his life. His father says he believes it amounts to state-sanctioned murder. Now, Italy has granted Alfie citizenship after the family begged the Pope for his help. Joining me now, former Governor Mike Huckabee is also a Fox News contributor. Governor, the last I checked, the family said 9:17 tonight, their local time. He'd been taken off the ventilator. He was still breathing, but they don't believe getting enough oxygen. They've asked the hospital for help, but it is over now. The hospital says there will be no help sustaining this little boy, and they also won't let him go to another country or hospital who says, we're willing to take a chance on him. What do you make of this?
Well, the real tragedy is that this is what happens when the government gets in complete control of the healthcare system. And I know people are going to say, oh, that's not what it's about. Well, it really is, because if you're in Great Britain and you have a cold, you just need to see the doctor, it works fine. If you have something serious, then the government's going to make decisions based on how much it's going to cost. In this case, this is a 23-month-old baby who is at Alderhay Hospital in Liverpool, and the government has decided he's not worth saving. I hate even to let those words come out of my mouth. There's no such thing as a disposable human being, as an expendable, worthless human being. But that's the decision that the British government has made. The Italian government has declared this young boy to be a citizen. They're willing to take him in, and the British government says, no, we're not going to let him leave. We're going to go ahead and kill him. I just find this chilling.
Yeah, and I think it's maybe hard for Americans to understand this. I think here the hospital system is obviously different, but I think too parents feel a lot more aggressively invested in individual rights and having a say about their children. And yet this is just a repeated case that we're seeing over in the UK when it comes to these dire medical situations, young children. And these are parents without great means. These are youngsters themselves, early 20s. And they say, you know, basically we have no voice. We saw this with Charlie Gard last year as well.
Well, you're right. They're both in their 20s, but they want to save their son. And they're willing to take him to Italy, and Italy is willing to take him. There's all kinds of offers to give him a med flight there. What I don't understand, and I think it's hard for the British government to justify, why don't they let these parents at least have a shot at saving their son? Why not? What's to lose? They have nothing to lose. It'll get the boy out of Britain, put him in Italy. If he doesn't make it, well, at least they've done everything they can do. But I just think most of us as human beings in a civilized world just don't want to start evaluating and saying that some people just aren't worth the effort to try to save when they're 23 months old. Yeah. I just don't want to think that we're there yet.
Here's what the hospital says. They say Alfie's parents have done everything in their power to do what they think is best for him, even though that is contrary to the view of the doctors. That has inevitably prolonged the period over which he's been given treatment that was determined in February not to be in his best interest. We understand that this decision is very distressing for Alfie's family at this very difficult time. Just quickly, we're just about out of time, Governor, but I know at one point an attorney advised Alfie's father that he had the right to take him out of the hospital. He tried to, and the police stopped him. What can we do now?
Ultimately, there's one question. Who's God here? Is God really in charge, or is the British government deciding that it's God and it's going to make the decision life or death? That's what it comes down to.
Governor, always good to see you. Thank you for weighing in on this difficult case. We'll continue to monitor it as we know it is very dire for this young boy at this point. Thank you, sir. Hope to see you again soon.
Thank you, Shannon.